Huh. That was an accident. Oh man, the Soto Windmaster versus the Pocket Rocket Deluxe from MSR. Are they the same stove? So we're gonna cover 3 really specific things about these stoves today. The first is what really makes them similar and what makes them different. The second is how do they perform against each other? And the third is after a few days of testing them against each other and really getting some good use out of the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, which one of the 2 stoves do I like better? Now diving in deeper into what makes these stoves different and how are they similar, let's talk about the Soto since it is kind of the originator of this design. The aspects of this stove that really stand out are that you've got the micro regulator, which for various different types of temperatures, and as you have a canister that loses pressure as it gets cold and that kind of thing, this regulator is going to allow you to have a consistent output of pressure of gas into the burner. And so the Pocket Rocket Deluxe also has the micro regulator. The piezo igniter that is on the Soto is down here at the bottom. They call this their stealth igniter, and it does come up through the center of the stove, and then it comes out right here. So when I activate this, I don't have something on the outside that is having the ability to get damaged basically. So the spark is coming off of the igniter in there. Now notice that the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, you have a piezo igniter as well right here that uses this action. It also has the line that goes up through the center and then comes out right here. So when I click that, it's going to ignite there inside the burner. Now notice on these burners that they are very similar in size. They both have a concave type of shape to them. Both of the stoves also, because they have that concave shape, they've got this lip of metal right here that acts as a windscreen. And you saw at the very beginning of the video that I took an air compressor and just obliterated these stoves with high pressure wind. And they perform, both of them, very well. However, I do believe that the Soto performed a little bit better in that particular test. And what the situation is on that, I can't be very scientific. It just was my observation that I feel like the Soto did a better job in that regard. Getting into very nitty-gritty millimeter details on the differences between these 2 stoves. The Pocket Rocket Deluxe has a burner width, so this space here, of 47.31 millimeters. Yes, I took my digital calipers and measured these stoves. The stove height from the bottom of the stove to the top of the burner here is 82.64 millimeters, and the weight of the Pocket Rocket Deluxe on my scale was 83 grams or 2.95 ounces. The other thing to note is the space between the windscreen, which is going to be the top of this lip right here, and the bottom of a pot on the Pocket Rocket Deluxe is 10 millimeters or 0.4 inches. Now talking about the Windmaster, you've got a burner width of 46.52 millimeters, so it's slightly smaller. The burner size though of the actual holes of where the flames come out seem to be basically the same type of pattern. The holes on the MSR do appear to be a little bit bigger, but we're talking again really finite details here, guys. The stove height from the bottom of the Windmaster to the top of the burner is 87.93 millimeters. You have a weight of 68 grams or 2.4 ounces. So the difference between these 2 stoves in terms of grams, 83 grams versus 68 grams. So the Soto is taller, but it's also a lighter weight stove. That does also include the weight of the Triflex pot stand, since this is also a Triflex. Now the space between the windscreen and the bottom of the pot with the Triflex and the 4-flex on the Soto is 7 millimeters. So 3 millimeters difference in height. And that's why I feel like the Soto in that wind test did better, because you've got, 3 millimeters is not a lot of space here, guys, but you've got less space between the bottom of the pot and the top. So harder for wind to penetrate between that gap versus through this gap right here. But let's talk about just a really basic, simple boil test that I did between these two stoves. And to be very, very frank and honest, I did not weigh the canisters to see how much gas they used to boil 2 cups of water. All I did was take 2 cups of water straight from my tap, right outside, and I lit the stoves, put the thing on, and then started the timer. And these things literally boiled within a second of each other, at least of me starting and stopping the timer. So, I'm not going to get scientific, because I don't necessarily believe that boil tests can be that accurate and that precise, because there are so many variables. And for me to do a boil test in conditions of where I don't normally use a stove, I don't cook in my backyard. I go into areas that are upwards of 10,000 feet. And so it just doesn't make sense for me to really try to say this one performs better because it boiled faster. It's just really minuscule, unnecessary details for me. But for those of you that care, 2 minutes, 27 seconds on the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, and 2 minutes and 28 seconds on the Soto Windmaster. I do like the design of this thing. The way that the pot supports fold down is pretty cool. It's nice that they, ooh, that's interesting. Huh. That was an accident. I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Huh, interesting. What that does, if it still works. Aha! It does. Crazy. Wow. Well, that was unexpected. All right, well, now we're to point number 3 of deciding which of the 2 stoves I like better. And I'm going to be very frank and honest with you guys. It is not fair for me to choose a favorite, because I have several months of use with the Soto Windmaster, and so I feel biased to choose this one because it's been a stove that I've been very familiar with. I've only had the Pocket Rocket Deluxe for a short period of time, and so it's not really fair for me to say that I like this better over the Soto or vice versa. So the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, a really neat stove, and I'm going to be taking this on a trip with me here very soon to get some more testing with it and to provide a really good, thorough review on this stove for you guys. It's an MSR product, which means that it's going to be reliable, it's going to be effective, efficient, and just a great, long-lasting product. The Soto Windmaster really is my favorite canister stove. I love this thing. Are they more or less the same stove? In a lot of ways, yes. And it's not really fair for me to say that MSR copied Soto. I don't know enough about patents and the way that design things work and all of that. However, they are very similar in characteristics, a lot of the same design features. We'll see how they do against each other in the long term. So guys, Pocket Rocket Deluxe, Soto Windmaster, boom, battled it out. Really cool stoves. Check them out for yourself. I've got links down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Have an awesome day. We'll catch you on the next video.